Hey, what's going on, guys? This is Alex Comic Reporter. Thank you so much for clicking play on this video. I have a humongous Silver Age haul for you guys today and two really big Marvel keys. One of them is a mega grail. Hopefully you guys are excited. I am. Here we go. I want to get straight into this haul, but before I do, let's bring out the old 2019 comic book want list. And as you can see, I was able to achieve in the last haul video the Daredevil one at a 4.0 from Bedrock City Comics. And once again, Midwest Comic Man was able to procure that deal for me. And so really excited. But I put the rest of the list on hold for a while because what I wanted to do was attack one of these books. And I was able to add one of these books to the collection, one of these mega grails. So excited to be able to share that with you guys. 2 weeks ago, I set up for the very first time at a comic show to sell comic books, was able to sell a lot of comic books and fund the Holy Grail that's in this haul, that's also now in my collection. I was also able to meet Bob Hall, who is the cover artist for this Amazing Spider-Man 237. He also does the pencil. I know Bob Hall's work from his work on the Champions, and I was really appreciative of what he did to the Angel's costume. He changed it from the really retro style 1970s low V-cut outfit back to the traditional with the halo in the middle. So I told him that I really appreciated his artwork on that book and the way that he changed the costume back to the traditional Angel outfit. Next up, I was able to find two books at an antique shop. They're really ratty copies, and I just wanted to buy something. I was in the retail therapy mood, so I bought these. They were $1 a piece. This is Aquaman from 1969. This is Aquaman 47. It's a Nick Cardy cover and a Jim Aparo artwork. And there's a crazy sea beast that Aquaman and Aqualad are facing off against. So there's that. Pretty low grade copy of that book. And then I also found an Amazing Spider-Man. This is Amazing Spider-Man number 95. I think this is from 1971, and it's a John Romita cover, and it's a Stan Lee story. So happy to find a book, an Amazing Spider-Man, under number 100 for $1. Okay, next up are a couple books that I got from a shop in Springfield, Illinois, and the first one is this Pre-Hero. This is Tales to Astonish number 23. This is a Jack Kirby cover and a Larry Lieber story, and as we all know, Larry Lieber is the brother of Stan Lee. And it's pretty low condition, but I got this for I think $10, which is pretty cool for a nice Silver Age Pre-Hero. And this one came out in October of 1961, which is 1 month before Fantastic Four number 1 came out, I believe in November of 1961. So this is pretty cool. Happy to find Tales to Astonish number 23 for around $10. Next book that I got from that shop, I got this one for under $5. I think I got this for $4. This is Tales to Astonish number 23, and this predates Ant-Man in this title. So happy to have this. Is a Jack Kirby cover, and there's also Don Heck and Steve Ditko pencils in this, and then it's a Stan Lee story. So Tales to Astonish number 32, very low grade book. There's some rubbing there on the spine and then lots of chipping on this side. But pretty cool book, and happy to have this one in the collection. All right, I did get two other books from there. One was a Fantastic Four, but it's mixed in somewhere in this pile. And I got this Tales to Astonish number 92. And this is a Don Heck cover and Stan Lee story. And this one's from 1967 with that cool monster. It walks like a man with Submariner there. So this is Submariner and the Incredible Hulk in Tales to Astonish number 92. Don Heck cover and Stan Lee story. There was a shop in Pekin, Illinois, and unfortunately it was their very last week of business. It was my first time ever visiting the shop, and it was their last week. And they had everything 50% off. I picked up the majority of the rest of these books there. This first one is Tales of Suspense featuring Iron Man and Captain America number 73. Really cool book there. I love how the background is kind of grayscale, and then it makes these two characters really pop there. Iron Man and looks like Black Knight. I just don't want to assume, but there is a really cool date stamp right on his leg there, October 5th of 1965. This is a Gene Colan cover and a Stan Lee story. Really great book. Got it for very cheap on that half-off sale. This next one is Tales of Suspense featuring Iron Man and Captain America 78. This is a Jack Kirby cover and a Stan Lee story. What's great about this one is it's got Captain America and Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. together at last. So in the Sergeant Fury and his Howling Commandos, we had the first team up between the two of them, and then now we've got the first team up between Captain America and Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D. This is really cool. Jack Kirby cover and Stan Lee story. We also have Tales of Suspense number 89, and this one is a Gene Colan cover once again, Gene Colan and Stan Lee story. So happy to have Tales of Suspense number 89 in the collection. It's a new mysterious melter. So I don't know if that's officially a first appearance or whatnot. But this is a Gil Kane. This is Tales of Suspense featuring Captain America and Iron Man with a great Red Skull. Number 90. It's a Gil Kane with a Stan Lee story on this one. And then we have Tales of Suspense featuring Captain America and Iron Man, number 96. This is a Jack Kirby cover and Stan Lee story. And if I'm not mistaken, I think Journos Comics just showed this one recently. He got it at an A1 sale. I think that's right, if I'm getting my video straight, but really happy to have this one as well. As you guys know, I find comic books in all the weird places. I found these next books in a shop in Springfield, Illinois that sells watches and coins. They also have some memorabilia, and believe it or not, they had comic books. These next two are from that shop. This is Fantastic Four number 20. It's the first appearance of Molecule Man. Now, I sold my original copy that I had of this one to fund the Mega Key Grail, but I wanted it back as soon as possible. So when I found it this week, I had to grab it. First appearance of Molecule Man, and there's a fan letter from George R.R. Martin published in the fan section. So that's pretty cool. And this is Fantastic Four number 20. I don't think I need to say it, but it's Jack Kirby artwork and Stan Lee story. From that same shop, I got Fantastic Four number 30, and this is the first appearance of Diablo. Check out the Thing in this cover. This is Jack Kirby once again. Jack Kirby and Stan Lee. Anything Silver Surfer and Fantastic Four is super hot right now. Fantastic Four number 55, and this is just a classic Jack Kirby battle cover between the Thing and the Silver Surfer. This is not really a key, but it's a great cover. This is Fantastic Four with Dr. Doom on it, and this is Fantastic Four number 57. Once again, Silver Surfer and Dr. Doom on the cover. Beautiful book. Once again, not a key, but a really great book. This is Fantastic Four number 61 with Sandman on the cover, and he's part of the Frightful Four, as you know. So this is really cool, and he's got the Fantastic Four all bound up and trapped in that sand. Really cool. Next up is Fantastic Four number 64, and this is the first appearance of the Kree Sentry Sinister, as well as the Kree race. So this is a really important book as far as the first appearance of the Kree race. And as we know, the Kree were really important in the Captain Marvel movie. And I was able to pick up 2 copies at that same shop in Pekin. I didn't know that I picked up 2 until I got home and saw that I had picked up 2 copies of it. And this one was much cheaper, and I think, let me see here. This one, it's because it's got the subscription crease right down the middle, and this is a pretty nice copy. So 2 copies of the first appearance of the Kree race, and then the Kree Sentry Sinister. A great companion to the first Kree race is Fantastic Four number 65. This is the 3rd copy of this book that I've owned, and once again, I did sell the other copy to fund the Mega Key Grail. So this is Fantastic Four number 65, the first appearance of Ronan the Accuser. This is also the first appearance of the Supreme Intelligence, which you also saw in the Captain Marvel movie. Really enjoyed that movie. And this is probably the nicest copy of this book that I've had. It's got a little bit of spine wear right here, but this is most likely a 5.0 to a 6.0. So happy to have first appearance of Ronan and the Supreme Intelligence. Find another replacement. This is Fantastic Four number 67. It's the first appearance of him, which I had to sell my copy to achieve the Mega Grail. And so this is a pretty nice book. Once again, it's not the whitest book that I've ever seen in the world. There are whiter copies of this book, but I'm just happy to have this one back in the collection. This is Fantastic Four number 65. It is just a great Jack Kirby Thing cover. Really like that. And you can see Fantastic Four in the back with Crystal. Up next is Fantastic Four number 69, just a great cover. There's nothing really key about this, but this is a great condition Fantastic Four number 69. And this is Fantastic Four number 70. There's a subscription crease, but other than that, really dark black cover, and it's pretty good. There's a chipping right there, and just a few spine ticks right in this area, but other than that, very, very nice book. Great Jack Kirby cover. This is Fantastic Four number 74, and you guys, this is the first appearance of the Punisher. So this is the Punisher right here. He is a servant of Galactus, not the Frank Castle version of the Punisher, but what I really love about this and what drew me to this comic book, and I think I got this one at the shop in Springfield, not the one in Pekin, was Galactus on the cover and Silver Surfer. This is Fantastic Four number 79. It's always been an eye-catching book because the greens in the background really make the thing pop like crazy. This monster forever. What a great story. Thing is dealing with a lot of issues. And this is Fantastic Four number 79. Really great looking cover by Jack Kirby. This is Fantastic Four number 80. It's the first appearance of Tomazuma, the Living Totem. And so that's a pretty neat cover. Really like that. They're on some kind of vehicles heading straight for the Living Totem. Black cover. This is a pretty nice condition book. There's just a little bit of spine wear right there, as you can see. But other than that, very, very nice condition book. Fantastic Four number 80. This is Fantastic Four number 83. There's nothing really key about this, but there is a date stamp up here. It says November 12th, and I can't read the year, but it also has a crossover with the Inhumans. And it looks like everyone's incapacitated, or at least had been knocked down. And you've got Medusa, Black Bolt, and Crystal there. That's pretty awesome. This is Fantastic Four number 85. Really great condition book. There's a little bit of rubbing right there. I'm not quite sure what these Jack Kirby monsters are doing to the Fantastic Four, but this is really cool. Within this tortured land, so maybe they're being tortured mentally, but I really like that cover. It's the same kind of browns that are in Fantastic Four number 48. And these are just classic Jack Kirby monsters. This one is Fantastic Four number 87, and what I really like about this is you can just see the Fantastic Four family here. You can see Mr. Fantastic and Sue Storm, the Invisible Woman. You can see Thing in the background there, and then you can see Johnny Storm and Crystal, and they're holding hands. Mr. Fantastic's got his arm around Sue Storm. It's a really cool black cover with that light coming through there by the Thing, causing all those shadows. I'm not really sure who this is and why they're just walking away, but this is a great black cover with those blues and those yellows. Really awesome to look at. 2 books left. This one is a super hot book right now. There's a lot of speculation going on, but I just wanted it for what it was. They had it marked at $65, and I just snatched it up and paid that price. There was one at the Pekin shop, Pekin, Illinois, that was a little bit cheaper because of the half-off sale. I should have bought that, but then the guy that came in after me just snatched off the wall. That's the first book that he went to. But I'm happy to have this one. I got this one this week. It's Avengers number 8, and this is in a much better condition than that other one. This one has a little bit of fold over, which would eventually cause that Marvel chipping. And it's got a little bit of a miswrap. So the center fold, the staples would actually be like right here, very, very close to the spine, but not on the spine. And so it's causing the centerfold to the back of the book to be a little bit longer than the front cover. Not that big of a deal, but other than that, any spine wear or spine ticks are pressable. This is a very, very beautiful condition book, and I was very, very happy to pay $65 for this copy of the first appearance of Kang the Conqueror. So we're down to the Holy Grail, and this could potentially be the end-all be-all book for my comic book collecting, which means I could stop collecting and be completely happy with the state of my comic book collection. So I had a chance in 2005 or 2006 to buy this exact issue. Not this exact copy of this book, but this exact issue. And at that time, in 2005 and 2006, I just graduated from college and just started working in a professional career. And I couldn't imagine spending $1,000 or more on a comic book, one individual comic book. And I saw this in a resale shop. And this is the type of place that would do road shows around the country, buy vintage guitars, watches, anything that was collectible, including comic books, toys, everything that they could purchase at these road shows and then sell for profit. And I saw this book. They also had an amazing Spider-Man #1 for I think $2,200 or something like that, and I thought that was overpriced at that time. But this book, I believe they had $2,500 or $3,000 for a raw copy. And it was a pretty decent looking copy of this book, and in hindsight, obviously, that was probably a good deal. But at the time, I just couldn't imagine it. So I thought I was stepping up to the plate and offered him $1,000, somewhere from $1,000 to $1,500 to buy this book, because I've always wanted a copy of this book. I just didn't know that I would have to spend, thousands of dollars to get this book. And they automatically said no, that wasn't going to happen. And so I just probably bought a guitar that day. I was a big vintage guitar collector, buyer. I would buy several vintage guitars, sell them, flip them up, and to get other big vintage, more expensive vintage guitars. And so I didn't make a move on this. So that I've wanted this book seriously ever since 2005. And so I finally got it. Let me show you guys the list. Amazing Fantasy 15 at a 1.0. I owned a 5.0, 0.5, excuse me, not a 5.0, 0.5, but it was complete blue label with no notes on the label. So that was a pretty decent copy of a very, very low grade Amazing Fantasy 15. Now I want Fantastic Four #1 anywhere from a 1.0 to a 2.0. I would love a Tales of Suspense 39. I had an opportunity to buy that for $80 at that same time frame, but it was completely wrecked. Probably a 1.0, 0.5 for $80. I really didn't know what I was doing by passing it up, and I saw it several months later at the shop, and he was saving it for somebody, but I didn't realize he was saving it for me. So we didn't connect the dots, and I ended up losing out on the book. And then Journey into Mystery 83, 3.0. So I want these two in a 3.0. So I was able to finally get one of these books, and that was my goal. So I don't know what I'm going to be doing with my list for the rest of the year, but I'm happy. That's all I can say is I'm happy. So without further ado, here's the book. There's no unboxing. I've already unboxed this book. As soon as it came in the mail, that sucker was open. So I will show you the back of the book. There is the back of the book. Yeah. End up just showing you guys. It is a 1.8, and it is a blue label Fantastic Four #1 at a 1.8. It's got a little bit of a writing there. Other than that, there are no notes. There's nothing funky going on with this. There's no glue, there's no tape, there's no added staples, there's no nothing. It's complete. There's no notes up here. It's a 1.8, and I probably paid a 1.0 price for this book. So there it is, Fantastic Four #1. It's the first superheroes of the Marvel Age, and it started the Marvel Age. This is the first appearance of Mr. Fantastic, Reed Richards. It's the first appearance of Sue Storm, The Thing, Ben Grimm, and Johnny Storm, the Human Torch. And it's a Stan Lee story and Jack Kirby cover and artwork. Couldn't be happier with this. We see that it is Carter Davis owned this book. He not only signed his name, drew a 1, drew a circle within the 0, but he also stamped his name, C. Davis. So I couldn't be happier. There's a little bit of chipping on this side and a little bit of spine, not like creases, but they're like spine splits along the spine. Nothing major. It's preserved in this, and I couldn't be happier. Fantastic Four #1. So how I acquired this book, I was sitting at the comic convention. A lot of people in the YouTube comic book community know that I was after these books, especially this one. I was really trying to make a deal on a 1.0, and I was talking with Deadpool 2323, DS Comics, probably Comichaulics Channel, Thanatos Comics, Matt 241, and Matt 241, while I was sitting at the comic convention, while I was selling, he tagged me on the low grade comic collectors Facebook group. Can't remember if that's the name of the group, but he tagged me on this very book. And the thing that was crazy was the price that he wanted for this book in that group was the same price or just a little bit more than everybody was asking for a 1.0. And to get this grade, I was going to have to spend at least over $1,000 more than what I paid for this book anywhere else. And so I guess the moral of the story is let your friends know what you're looking for and they can help you and they'll be able to be on the lookout for you. So thank you so much, Matt. I appreciate it. And thanks for tagging me on that listing. And then also don't jump on high prices. If you think it's high, hold out. There will always be a deal down the road, whether it's a month from then. I was just hanging on to my money. Even though money burns a hole in my pocket, I was hanging on to that money hoping that I would find a copy like this. And I'm so glad I did. I'm so glad I held out and didn't buy the copies that people were presenting to me. They were saying, this is a great deal. This is a great deal, because in hindsight, they weren't a great deal. They were above fair market value. And I wanted to pay fair market value or find a great deal. And so I was very, very happy to do that. Blessed to have this book and friends that were on the lookout for me. And that's it, you guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm really happy and excited to have Fantastic Four #1 in the comic book collection. If you haven't already, hit that like button. And if you're not already subscribed, hit that subscription button and hit that bell to be notified when there's future videos. Also, check out some of these other videos. And with that being said, you guys, I will talk to you on the next one. See ya. Bye.